Arsenal, who, despite being knocked off top place last week, arrived at the Walker Stadium unbeaten. And Clive Tyldesley was there.
Well, the next contestant step this way. Leicester City make the 15th attempt to end Arsenal's unbeaten Premiership record. Without their suspended captain, Muzzy is in. Callum Davidson, with only 10 minutes of senior football to his name this season, takes his place. Arsenal ahead of another Champions League showdown next week. Risk neither Thierry Henry or Patrick Vieira. Jeremy Aliadier gets the nod over Cano and Wiltor as Dennis Bergkamp's strike partner. Two of the Barclaycard Premiership's form teams. Only Chelsea won more points during November than Leicester and Arsenal. And yet last weekend was the first this season that ended without the name of Arsenal at the top of the table, being unbeaten. It's not quite enough anymore. Scowcroft is quite a bit taller than Cole. And Leicester City are bound to use the former striker, now playing in midfield, as an aerial target. Steve Howie has joined the throng in there. Towards Scowcroft! There is a flag raised. I suspect Ferdinand closing in. Strong header by Jane Scowcroft. Arsene Wenger said yesterday that Leicester City's set pieces are as good as any club in Europe. It's not just Britain, in Europe. Quite a compliment to Mickey Adams and his staff. Gilberto caught in possession by Davidson. Arsenal have been able to regroup, although Bent looks to run them. Seemed to be tripped there by Edu. Has to have it back anyway. McKinley. In towards Ferdinand. He's beaten Lehmann to the ball. Les Ferdinand. Well, he'll be 37 years young on Monday, Les Ferdinand. He says this is his farewell tour. He timed the run well there. Timed it better than Lehmann, that's for sure. Pires. Davidson's had a very snappy game in midfield. Gilberto. Ljungberg. Taken away by Davidson. There's some afters between Ljungberg and Thatcher, right under the nose of the assistant referee, Paul Norman, on the far side. Rob Stiles insisting that he'll do the refereeing. That's Thatcher in pursuit of Ljungberg, who loses control, loses his footing. He might have been fouled there. Now it's the left foot of Thatcher, which lands on Ljungberg there, and again. Once accidental, second less easy to forgive. Pires. Arsenal haven't got anybody in the Leicester box. They play in front of you, and then people arrive late on the scene, as Bergkamp is doing now. Just behind him, Stewart jabbing it away, but only as far as Pires. And now Gilberto! Well, they invited him to shoot, and Ian Walker had to make a good save. A lot of space here for Gilberto Silva to steady himself. But Ian Walker, who is back in the England squad this season, may just get a chance before the European Championship finals to show Sven-Göran Eriksson what he can do. It was Pires who impeded Impey as he got forward. Turned away by Cole. Forward by Impey. No flag here. Ferdinand just unable to seize upon the ball. Pires. Here comes the Arsenal break. Bergkamp has managed to elude Thatcher and cross for Gilberto! A goal that had Arsenal written all over it. One end of the field to the other in a blink of an eye. That's the problem when you attack Arsenal. You leave yourself open to that kind of brilliant counter-attack. It was Dennis Bergkamp who just managed to slip away from Ben Thatcher. Probably the first error the Leicester captain's made all day, and that's how costly it is. Gilberto breaking the length of the field himself to turn in Dennis Bergkamp's perfect cross. And how many times have we seen Arsenal do that already this season? Defence to attack with stunning effectiveness. Bergkamp has stolen it, and trying to get Ali Adier on his way. Way by Impey. It's come for Ali, what he would have done, he was coming back from an offside position. Now Ali Adier, now Ljungberg. Might still run for Pires. Corner kick. Torres will take the corner kick himself. Towards Gilberto once more, but nudged away by Scowcroft. Bench has been penalised, put his hands on Touré's shoulders. Bergkamp takes. Volleyed again by Gilberto. Still a chance for Ali Adier. And turned away by Schumacher. Well, he has shown an eye for goal already this season and already this afternoon, but he was in some space there, and it was a very, very good save by Ian Walker. Thatcher. Cole, good cover that by Ashley Cole. Wasn't anything very good about the challenge. It was two-footed by Ashley Cole. It's a red card. Rob Stiles was never in any doubt. Cole will be dismissed for a two-footed challenge. And once again, Arsenal are involved in jostling scenes here. Mainly peacemakers. Cole's fate has already been decided, and this is why he was stretching to reach the ball, and he led with both feet and barely got the ball, went right through on Thatcher. That is a dangerous challenge, and Rob Stiles has dealt properly with it. Arsenal's disciplinary record has been so good since Old Trafford, where Cole was one of the Arsenal players to escape without suspension, and we can do without this now. It's not a time for schoolmasters, but if Arsenal have learnt any lessons from that experience, Cole has just got to go quietly. No question that that is a red card challenge. Should look around to Gillespie. He's forced him back. Impey has to toss it in. Scowcroft's underneath it. Turned out to Hignett! Just in the nick of time, Craig Hignett equalises for Leicester City. Two and a half minutes of added time have been played. And Mickey Adams has a reward from the afternoon. And Arsenal, who dropped points last weekend, are set to be held again. Craig Hignett comes off the substitutes bench to pinch the goal after a towering header by Jane Scowcroft set him up. And Arsenal are undone at the last. That's how little time there was remaining. That's That's how close Arsenal came to another victory, but Craig Hignett denied Arsene Wenger in the very last attack. Maybe an incident which will take some of the attention away from Ashley Cole's red card. It has finished one apiece here at the Walker Stadium.
What is your view of his red card?
Well, the referee sent him off, and you should ask his opinion. He must have his reasons. It was a tackle from certainly with high. His tackle was high, and the referee decided to send him off. We have to accept the verdict.
Have the clubs had specific instructions about two-footed tackles from the referees this season?
Well, we know it's everybody who plays football knows that it is dangerous, and we don't encourage our players to do it.
Will you discourage it by taking further action after you've seen it?
Well, we'll first have a look at it and see what we do.
I know emotions run high, but after the red card, it took a long time for Ashley Cole to actually depart.
Well, yes. I don't know why. I haven't spoken about it with him at the moment, and I don't know why.
What's a man of your age doing in the penalty area at 4:45 on a Saturday afternoon?
I was half thinking, what's a man of my age doing on the pitch? At one stage there, I had a difficult 20 minutes to say the least when I come on, but managed to pop up and score a goal.
Iggy, I thought he was Arsenal's best player when he came on, I've got to be honest. So for him to score at the death there was a terrific bonus for the lad.
I dare say you've told him so too, have you?
Oh yeah, I think his own players have told him.
Only one real talking point there, that ugly tackle, and it was ugly.
Yeah, I mean, there's no defending it, Des. It was a poor tackle and had an effect on the result in the end. I mean, you can't defend the original incident. This is Ashley Cole loses control of the ball, and then that's horrendous. It's two-footed, it's high, and it's over the top, and it can cause serious damage.
Something gone on between those two earlier?
Maybe there was words, but in fairness to Ashley Cole, at least he's come out and he's apologised to Thatcher and apologised to his teammates for the tackle. So that's the one good thing to come out of the whole incident.
But then there was the melee afterwards, wasn't there? Which, I mean, this is even uglier.
Well, it is, Des, but I'm not going to take any moral high ground here or be hypocritical. As a player...
Have you done that sort of thing?
I've done the same. I mean, we were encouraged by our club. You go in there in those incidents and you defend your own. You get around and you see if any way you can influence
pushing the referee around, you know, I mean, what good does that... Has that ever done any good when you were a player? What good does it do?
Yeah, to be honest, I've had a yellow card as well. So no, you get a yellow card in. It doesn't help the situation, but players will do that, Des, and I think, strange enough, in the current climate, you know, rugby's in vogue at the moment, and much has been made about the discipline of the rugby players in respect to the way they adhere to what the referee does. There is a difference, though, in the two games, and, you know, maybe somehow that's the one thing football can take from rugby in terms of accepting what the referee does. But who knows who's going to bring that in? It has to be some kind of harsh punishment.
The whole thing creates an awful impression about the game run, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've just said there you were encouraged to. I was just thinking there, you know, I can't ever remember, there probably was, but I can't ever remember a Brian Clough team ever doing that. No. He insisted...
What about a Ron Atkinson team?
Well, you said about managers encouraging people to get round the referee and try and get the decision rescinded. They don't. I've never ever wasted my time sort of saying that, because I think it is a waste of breath.
But having said that, Ron, as well, as a manager, I wouldn't expect my manager to come on national TV and slaughter me for doing that. Privately,
I was going to ask you that. Do you think Arsene Wenger should come out publicly, say, on our programme and say that was outrageous and I should discipline him?
I think Arsene Wenger should do what he sees fit for Arsenal. He was controlled and measured there in his statement. He was angry because, A, he knows he's lost a good player, a player that's very much improved this season, I might add, for 3 big matches. He's also lost that game, probably, the last kick of the match, 2 points, which they probably wouldn't have lost but for the sending off. Now, what he does behind closed doors, and I have every reason to believe, because they've got a fair disciplinary record this season, Arsenal, you know, contrary to what people think about the Old Trafford incident, I think what he does behind closed doors, I think that he might just read the riot act to that group. But I have to say there, when the general melee was on afterwards, it wasn't totally Arsenal. In fact, if they'd have left it to the referee, if for argument's sake 1 or 2 of the opposition players hadn't raced, like Howie Hare's raced, I think it's about 50 or 60 yards over there to confrontation. He's angry, they're losing the game, he's angry because he's seen one of his fellas, or one of his players almost get injured. But if he doesn't poke his nose in there and start, you know, aggravating the situation, now all of a sudden 1 or 2 of the Arsenal players obviously trying to protect one of their own, and the sending off takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes. The referee had that well in control. After that, when they all start milling round, it's very, very difficult
Pushing
for
the referee around's got to stop. Got it.
It's Henry, it's well hit!
This is a man who makes scoring goals look easy. Thierry Henry's accuracy is one of the main reasons for Arsenal's success. But the King of Highbury had to contend with a far humbler beginning. The young Henry grew up in one of Paris's poorest, toughest suburbs. His elder brother Willie shared those years with him. He explains how the children turned the street into a makeshift football pitch, with a goal positioned at the entrance to their block of flats. Nowadays, just possessing the Henry family name is enough to attract attention.
Thierry was quite small. We used to play tough, so I didn't want to hurt him. But he always wanted to play with us and not with the younger guys.
The practice paid off. The teenage Thierry Henry was plucked off the streets. France had set up a national football academy designed to discover raw talent. Henry's selection proves that it was definitely working. At the age of 20, he was a World Cup winner.
It's Thierry Henry!
The celebrations, though, didn't extend to his club football. He had to endure an unhappy 7 months with Juventus.
It was his arrival here at Highbury that really brought Henry's career to life. There had never been any doubt about his natural ability. It's only since he signed for Arsenal that he's firmly established himself as one of the very best players in the world.
He's earned a reputation that could well receive another boost on Monday when FIFA announces its Player of the Year.
When you work, you always get what you deserve. If people can recognize that, that will be great for me. But otherwise, it's still the same. Then after you have to, if you the one, you have to defend that.
Henry's teammates are backing him to pick up the award.
It's very difficult to find someone else who's better than him, I think. And yeah, if he would get the award, I feel he really deserves it.
Henry's already one of British football's most successful imports. Few would begrudge him the title, the world's best. James Pearce, BBC News.
Than this, the final night, all 4 sides could go out, but all 4 could still win the group. It was one of those nights when there was nowhere to hide. Gunners fans knew it, and so did the opposition.
I'd say 3-1 to Arsenal.
The Loco will go into the next stage.
With Arsenal?
No.
No.
35,000 were desperate for an early goal. They didn't have to wait long. Thierry Henry's vision put Robert Perez in, a touch of Gallic inspiration. Then just before the break, Jacob Leketo, already booked, was late on Freddie Ljungberg. Now it was 11 versus 10. Arsenal knew a second would seal it, and midway through the second half they got it. Again Henry the provider, this time Ljungberg with the finish. And a minute later, a goal in Kiev too. Daniel Adani gave into the lead and potentially a place in the last 16 at Lokomotiv's expense. Both teams had lost out. And it didn't take very long for that news to reach London. 2 sets have satisfied players and fans. It was almost an Anglo-Russian alliance.
One time is lucky.
Yes, I have to say that it's a great achievement for Lokomotiv Moscow tonight. Overall in the competition we have managed to get 8 points. And we've played well against Inter Milan and Arsenal.
Really happy because the first 3 games we get only 1 point, and we come in really from really long way. But we keep believing in ourselves, and I think we show how strong we are because the last 3 games we play with a good determination, and in the end we finished first of the group.
And Lokomotiv Moscow finished second. Enough to spark a little post-match party.
It was absolutely beautiful in the dressing room. We had to wait a minute before we knew the correct score in the other game. But when we got the news, there was lots of celebration and cheers. I believe overall we definitely deserved to go through.
We'd rather not be drawn to play Mr. Abramovich's Chelsea. I think we'd rather play a team like Monaco. Otherwise, we're confident and happy to play anyone in the next round.
So Lokomotiv squeezed through behind Arsenal and much fancied Inter are out.